So you're making art prints and you're trying to figure out whether you want to use glossy paper, matte paper, or luster paper. And there are a lot of other types of papers as well. And so it's super confusing which paper to choose. Now, I'm a full-time artist and I make about 80% of my income selling prints of my paintings. I make all of the prints myself. And so I have tried out a huge number of different types of papers over the years. And I found some that I really love. And I found some positives and negatives to using the various different types of papers. So I'm going to share all of that with you in this video today. And first off, I want to show you glossy paper. This type of paper you need to handle with cotton gloves. And this is the reason why I really don't like glossy paper and I rarely ever use it. Because I think that it is a hassle to have to put on these gloves before I handle it. Because the thing is, with glossy paper, even after the print has dried, you can transfer your fingerprints onto it so easily. And the sheen is so glossy, which looks beautiful. But imagine a customer getting this and then they get their fingerprints all over it, especially if they pay like $30 or $40 for this fine art print from you. And then just by pulling it out of the package, they damage it. I mean, that's no good. But I do want to show you what they look like. It looks really vibrant, really nice. The bad thing is though is that there is a glare, a major glare. And personally, I don't like this aspect of it either, but it does make really vibrant looking prints. Next step down from glossy is luster photo paper. Now I like luster a lot better, but you still have to handle it with cotton gloves, or you should. So this is the luster here. You can see it's also very vibrant, but it doesn't have quite as much shine on it as the glossy does. The thing about the luster is there is a little bit of a texture on the paper. I like the way this looks personally. And so out of the two, luster versus glossy, I like luster a whole lot better. The other thing I love about the luster paper is that when you use it out in the elements, like let's say out at an outdoor art festival, if you have it displayed in a frame, it's not going to ripple up in there as easily as matte paper will. Now matte paper is my go-to paper though, and that's what I'm going to show you what it looks like here in just a second. But the thing is that whenever I'm displaying work in my outdoor art fair booth and I want to display something framed, I always go with luster paper. You could also use gloss paper, but I like the luster better because there's just not quite as much of a shiny finish on it. But the thing is that the paper, since it is enclosed in the coating on both sides, it keeps the humidity and the temperature and everything away from that inside layer of paper much better than the matte paper does, because the matte paper is open to the elements. And so lesson learned, use the luster paper or the glossy paper if you are going to be putting it into some sort of conditions that have high humidity. But if you're not going to do that, then matte paper is the way to go. I love matte paper because you don't have to handle it with cotton gloves. No fingerprints will get on here, and it looks very vibrant, just as vibrant as the glossy paper does. And there's no shine on it. And so for me personally, I think matte paper is the way to go. Plus this type of matte paper, which is ultra premium presentation paper matte by Epson, it's very affordable, much more affordable than the glossy and luster photo paper by Epson. So this is the matte paper, this is the luster, and this is the glossy. You can see all of them look really vibrant and nice. And this is one of the things, some people think that matte paper doesn't look vibrant, but if you print it correctly, it will. I printed all of these on my Epson P900. You can also save a few bucks and get the premium presentation paper matte. I use this paper very often as well for prints, but if you're going with this lower weight paper, just keep in mind you want to print smaller sizes with it, like 8.5 by 11 or less, because larger sizes will tend to ripple up a little bit because of the level of ink that's being put on there by the printer, and they won't dry out completely flat. And you don't want customers to get prints that are not completely flat, because rippled up, buckled looking prints are just bad. But one of the things I've learned is if you want to use this type of paper, if you print it and let it dry in low humidity conditions, I actually have a humidity gauge in my studio where I do my printing, and if it's over 40% humidity, I turn on my dehumidifier while I'm printing and while the prints are drying. This way it allows me to use the lower quality paper and still get a really premium result. If you'd like to learn more about making art prints, watch this playlist. It's basically a free course that teaches you everything you need to know about how to make art prints at home on your own. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.